Okay, so I am back, and as you can see, I cut the tails off after I um, tied the knots very, very carefully. And now I'm going to do that on this end, the opposite end. And so I'll get as close as I can, but I'll end up tucking those in, so I'm not going to be too close. I want to be careful. And I'm just going to toss those to the side. Now, this is the needle and thread that we want to leave attached. And if by accident you were to cut that off, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. You could always just rethread, reweave back through a few rows until you got out to the end. So not a deal breaker, just makes it a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, the first couple moves here are kind of a little wonkadoodle. So we're going to take this piece. I want to make sure I'm in the camera here. I like to push those knots kind of inside here. And one of the things I did not list in the materials was white glue. You could use a white glue that dries clear. You could use hypo cement from Beaded Ring. I don't want to use anything too powerful, but I like Aleene's Turbo glue. It dries clear. Okay, so I have my two ends. I'm going to let's try to get this shot. Okay, got it? So I've got the two ends, needles in my right hand, and the thread is coming out of this. We'll refer to this as the bottom end. And now we're going to take the needle and we're going to go back through that row of beads on the top side here. And then we got to do this. Let's pull this out. Ow. Try not to bone yourself. It's real reality crafting. Okay, and then see, we're going to pull these two together. And then I'm going to come back through the opposite side. And so basically you're just stitching the two ends together. Just think of it like that. Just stitching those two ends together. Whoopsie, got to make sure I'm in the camera. Okay, and then you can see how it just, look at that, it's already starting to come together. Okay, so I'm going to do this a couple of times. These beads are tinier, so we don't have as much room like we will on our ADOs. And so at some point too, if it ever felt like it was going to be hard to get that needle out, this is where I love to use my flat nose, right? So it helps, and it keeps the needle from possibly breaking, I have found. Kind of distributes, I guess, the pressure perhaps a little bit better. And then at this point too, what you can do, if you felt like you needed to, you could go back through the entire ring with your excess thread. My ring feels pretty good. I don't really feel like I need to do that, so I'm going to come back towards the middle again to my hands want to be sewn to this ring for some reason. Oh, it's so fun. Isn't this awesome? It just comes together so quickly. Let me see here. Whoa, it's getting tight in that one. See, yeah, that really helps. There's just something about the distribution of the pull when you use the flat nose versus trying to tug it with your hands. Okay. Ooh, this is tight. Where are you at? Okay. Whoa. Sorry about that. I'm like trying to sew this together and then my hand is leaving the frame. Let's do another one. Awesome. It's looking perfect. I'm going to go ahead and do one more row here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the needle, make sure I'm in the camera here, come here, and I'm going to do what I did earlier with the tail. I'm coming up between that first, that second and third bead. Let me get these out of the way. And then I'm just going to catch my needle on the warp there. And bring the needle through the loop. And I'm just going to guide this with my hands so that it's a little bit more awesome. Okay, and then where you at? I'm going to grab the needle, push it through the back so that that knot will be in the back of the ring. Fantastic. And then let me grab my ever so carefully here. Awesome. What are we talking about? Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so I don't have, look at that. My fingers really fluctuate. That's awesome though. I don't have one for my middle finger. Let's see if it'll fit my pointer too. So see what it's very interesting, right? The how our body weight and the swelling and what have you. So this was supposed to fit my ring finger, but yeah, I must not have a lot of fluid right now. That's quite interesting. So I'm digging it. So cool. So you can see why. I mean, look at how pretty and simple. Just a very simple little ring. You could make these in a variety of colors and they would just make the absolute best gifts. Or you know how people carry things in their I don't know, in your purse, in your pocket. Like some people do those, oh, what was that called? The cards where they would leave art cards or I don't know, something made, right? So wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't that be one of these, that fun little thing where people hide handmade gifts with like a little inspiration note? I don't know. I'm thinking out of the box. Here, I'm going to move this out of the way. Isn't that fantastic? I'm so excited. All right. Well, I really hope that these instructions and these videos worked for you and that you were able to understand how to make this very simple band ring. And I'm looking forward to doing the rest of the rings with you. It's going to be fun. Okay. See you in the next series.